I could be decertified.
I'm certifiable. All right, let's go.
You're definitely certifiable.
Let's go.
Well, thanks very much.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935. Or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some. So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now. Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you with startup capital, business strategy, sales and marketing, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, you may visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's ABTRUSTCO.com or call them at 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away. Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some. So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. Today's show is brought to you by Cali Vegas, helping people just like you create and host your very own radio, TV, or multimedia talk show. Cali Vegas can help you with everything you need to get out of sitting in hours of traffic like you're doing right now and host your very own talk show in your very own studio. Call Cali Vegas right now at 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. Again, 949-445-1119, or visit them at calivegas.com. That's C-A-L-I Vegas.com, and tell them the circus sent you. Also, a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and our CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates from coast to coast. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about basketball and hockey right now, but I want to turn my attention, at least for the first segment, to football, to the combine as we know it. And Ben, have you been paying attention to anything going on with this combine by chance?
Not really. I haven't heard much. I heard one guy did 34 reps at bench, so that's a lot.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that the combine has a ton of value, or is it sort of a cat show for players?
Oh, it's definitely the latter, I would say. I mean, that's why the best players don't even go to do it, because they're above that.
Yeah, I would agree. And see, when I look at this combine, I say, okay, here are these guys, these players that are showing off basically for some kind of a glorified job fair. I wouldn't even say it's a job interview. It's like a job fair with all the NFL teams being the employers, and then there are prospective employees that are trying to show off and this and that, whatever, which is great. They're trying to show their skills, but remember their careers, actual game time, fully suited with all pads. That is the video interview. It's not necessarily what you can do in a combine when you're not in full dress. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're definitely in a different position doing what they do for a living. So it's kind of one of those things, like you said, it's a video interview that your future employer is going to have and look back on. They've got it, all on tape to go, look, this is how he cuts. This is his tendency off the break, this and that,
Right, and that is actual game reps. That is not something where they're not in full dress, or where they are in full dress, I should say. But the combine, it's basically, look, you're running around in in a track suit, so to say, or track spikes. And
It's very awkward.
Yeah, it's very awkward because here you've got certain players will run incredible rate speeds and they'll have big verticals and this and that. Well, guess what? They need to do these combines in full dress so the teams actually can measure what they're doing fully suited with all the equipment on instead of without anything on, because it doesn't really add a ton of value. And sure, you take a guy like Tyree Jackson, who's a hell of a quarterback, a big kid, 6'7" quarterback out of the University of Buffalo. And right there in our listening audience up on WLVL, Fox Sports, 105.3 FM and 1340 AM. Those players like Tyree Jackson is a monster, and he's got a huge speed at 4.59, big vertical at 34 and a half. But I want all these players to do this suited up because it makes a lot more sense. You know, and I saw an interview with Tyree Jackson. He's a good kid. But here's the thing. You're going to ask him loaded questions, and the loaded questions are going to give slanted answers. We know that. And so he really can't give his real opinion on something because he's got all the ears of the world listening, and then all the eyes of the world are watching his combine efforts without pads, and it leaves that reasoning. It's kind of like the missing link, right? From the science world.
Harry and the Hendersons?
Yes, it's the missing link. And so the problem is that we don't really know what Tyree is going to do in full gear in NFL reps.
True. I think they should really just scrap the whole combine as it is and do something more fun with it. Have these guys do Ninja Warrior stuff. Have them play paintball. Something, I don't know, carry a sack of potatoes up a 30-foot skyscraper. I don't know, try to traverse something. Something that's actually watchable and may translate just as well to their athleticism.
Right. It just can't be anything where they could potentially get hurt, right? Because that would be a very big problem.
True.
Right. So it has to be something. So who knows? Maybe they could just go bowling. The fact is, they already have plenty of video on these kids. They already know what they can do, what they're capable of. Is Kyler Murray going to be the number one pick? I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. What do you think?
It's hard to say. I mean, that's what it's leaning towards from everything you hear. So, but it's always a mystery. You never know. You really just don't.
No, you don't know. And Kyler Murray is, of course, beloved by the staff over in Arizona. And, of course, the word is that Kyler Murray to the Cardinals, and the Cardinals may ship Josh Rosen out to the Giants, the Redskins, or another team. And let's face it, Kyler Murray was the target for the Arizona Cardinals, period. And so I really believe that Josh Rosen is going to be the odd man out because of this draft pick. It's going to happen. It's not going to be Haskins. It's not going to be, well, I kind of like it to be Jones out of Duke. He's a 6'5", real heady quarterback, but I don't think that 6'5" quarterback has anything over the 6'7" quarterback for Buffalo. So therein lies a quandary, except the fact that Buffalo's competition is a little bit less than what happens in the ACC against the Clemsons of the world. You know what I mean?
Definitely. It's a little bit more of a spotlight and competition.
Yeah, and so is Tyree Jackson a good quarterback? Yeah, I've watched him all year, and this kid is the real deal. And everybody was asking the same question about Carson Wentz when he came up, just a couple of years ago. And Wentz was the real deal. Is Tyree Jackson NFL ready? I don't know. I mean, does anybody really know if these kids are NFL ready? You could come out of a system that is complementary or very similar to what the NFL offers. And even though the fact that he works out with the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, Josh, what's his name? Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. It's not Josh Rosen, it's the other Josh. But my point, he came out of Wyoming. That he works out with him, it doesn't really matter. The fact is he NFL ready? And I would argue that Tyree Jackson may be could be NFL ready, but he's one of those guys that he's got that prototypical build, and he probably should sit in the NFL behind a great quarterback for a year or two, just like Aaron Rodgers did, even though it wasn't the
Blow up
right.
the combine.
Yeah, exactly. Get rid of the combine. You're out of here. Folks, we're going to be back here with Dan Hughes from the WNBA, coach of the Seattle Storm, in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come. There's the combine. And away it goes.
Here is today's top auto tech story. I'm Nick Miles. Looking to compete with Chinese rivals, Toyota and Panasonic are set to launch a joint venture next year to produce batteries for electric vehicles. The business could help Toyota achieve an annual sales target of around 1 million zero-emission battery EVs by 2030. Car Gurus recently published results of a survey of American adult consumers regarding their interest in electric vehicles. 15% said they were probably going to own one. For more cool car tech, visit testmiles.com.
Out here on the trail, the difference between a good time and a great time usually comes down to how dirty your Tacoma gets. So put that multi-terrain Select to good use. Track down some nasty stuff and dive right in. Learn more at toyota.com/testmiles.
You're listening to Global American Broadcasting, the Gab Radio Network. For more info on our programs and services, including technical operations and syndication, please visit gabradionetwork.com.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America, with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935. Or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by
Here is today's top automotive news story. I'm Nick Miles. Nissan introduced the IMS concept. It has autonomous driving modes on electric power, but still has an exciting driving performance. Underneath, dual electric motors. Blue lights on the vehicle light up to tell others that it's in autonomous mode. It'll project augmented reality on the dashboard, alerting you of safety hazards ahead. Expect it to be able to do 300 to 400 miles on a single charge of electricity. For more cool car tech, visit testmiles.com.
Here's the thing about bragging rights. They don't come with trophies or medals. To rocks, there's nothing more satisfying than throwing it in your buddy's face. Learn more at toyota.com/testmiles.
You're listening to Global American Broadcasting, the Gab Radio Network. For more info on our programs and services, including technical operations and syndication, please visit gabradionetwork.com.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. This segment is brought to you by the American Business Trust Company, helping your company with business strategy, sales and marketing, capital resources, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. The American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. Visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's ABTRUSTCO, abtrustco.com, or call 657-600-1876. That's 657-600-1876. The American Business Trust Company. Call them right now, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away. Also, a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast. And folks, we have a special guest joining us, the current head coach for the Seattle Storm. That would be the world champion Seattle Storm. Dan Hughes, thanks for joining us, Dan.
My pleasure. Glad to be here.
All right. Yeah, we have a picture on the social media of you hoisting your trophy, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's very nice, actually. Yeah.
Always nice to hoist a trophy, right?
Yep.
I mean, think about that. In all of professional sports, I don't care, even if it's amateur sports, to have the ability to hoist a trophy and say, you hit the end of the road, you did it, you won, that's great. Did you go to Disneyland afterwards?
No, I am part of the USA basketball staff, and we had the World Cup. And so I traveled with 3 of my players about 48 hours later to the medal round in Tenerife, Canary Islands, Spain, and became part of that group that won the gold there. So no, there was pretty much like done with one, we got to head out and win another. So.
Yeah, Disneyland can wait. You're going to the Canaries.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah, but it was joyous. It was a pretty good month.
Yeah, I bet. So you got to hoist a trophy over there too.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
exciting.
that was a great experience. Great experience. And to do it with 3 of our players. Sue Bird, Breonna Stewart, Jewel Lloyd all went with me and all played pivotal parts in USA basketball. So yeah, that was a special treat.
Right. Well, Sue Bird's been in the league for 15 years now, hasn't she?
Yeah. I'll tell you, she had about as good a year last year as any year she's had, certainly in the last decade, I think. And just an amazing preparer of mentally and physically. She works every day to put herself in the right spot. She's really a study of, I look at Tom Brady and I look at her are 2 incredible examples of how to continue to be a veteran and get your body and get your mind ready. I mean, those 2 are like off the charts in my mind.
Right. So when Sue goes about her business, do you just kind of sit back and watch and say, do your thing, you're the point guard, you're the quarterback on our team, just like the Tom Brady, so to say, and just let her, and are you just watching it saying, wow, here's a 3-time champion. I mean, she has certainly run the gamut with the Seattle Storm, winning all 3 with the Storm, and obviously with a couple of people that are associated with the Sports Circus as well. Alicia Thompson is our WNBA correspondent for the show, and also working with us is Janelle Burse, a couple of fine ladies that you know as well, that were teammates of Sue's in the past.
Yeah, when you've got someone with a mind like Sue Bird, you want, as a coach, you want to enable her. You want to enable her to be not only the physical presence that she is the best passer I've ever seen, men or women, the best. But you want to enable her leadership. You want to put her in a situation where that's part of your package, because it's just not very often you get somebody with those kinds of experiences and those kind of drive and those kind of leadership qualities. You would be wrong not to put her out in front and let her be a part of the culture that you have with the team.
Right. I mean, look, she's been a 5-time Russian champion, a 3-time WNBA champion. She's won everywhere, 11-time All-Star, and to have basically the Tom Brady of the WNBA on your club, that certainly helps, because I would imagine from a leadership standpoint, I mean, you already have a fine leader on the court. So that really helps you, I would imagine, on your game-to-game management of the game, does it not?
Oh, it does. I've always been a coach that probably gives point guards more freedom than they've ever experienced. It's part of my makeup. I'm attracted, first of all, to point guards that think the game well. That's the kind of point guard I want to give the ball to. Mm-hmm. But in Sue's case, it even takes it another stretch. It's a matter of her being able to, on the floor. When you talk about leadership, and from a coaching standpoint, it's one thing for me to be a leader. That's important. But what's more powerful is that I develop leaders.
Right.
And you've got one right here with the ball in her hand. And that is the most immediate impact you can put on a basketball team, is somebody with the ball who can make the type of decisions that allows a coach like me to sleep well at night, which is really, really appreciated, because she is that good at understanding the game.
Well, you get to empower the players that really deserve it. And I mean, she's won everywhere she's been, period. And the fact that you have a superstar on the court, it certainly helps everybody else. But the idea that, look, you can't be on the court with the ball, but you've got another version of you on the court with the ball. I mean, what could be better?
Oh, absolutely. No, you know, when you talk about the reach that a coach has, you know, I think it's important that you empower your assistant. But when you have a player that can carry that reach onto the court, now you've really got something. Now you really have something. And that's why you want to enable a player like that. You want her to be able to, where she's at in her career, that be a part of her package, because she spent a lot of years and invested a lot of time, and still does, at working to that field of excellence. And you want to enable that, because all it does is just put your team in a better position.
Right. Hey, you should have brought her on the show with you. Maybe next time you come back, you can. Why not, right?
Yeah, she works for the Denver Nuggets in the off season. So she's training for next year. I just saw her work out last week. She looks really good, but she's also spending time with the Nuggets, and so she's out and about, getting ready.
She's remarkably busy. She's kind of like your Magic Johnson on the court.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, how lucky am I? You know, part of the reason I've coached so many games in the WNBA and still coaching and doing all that was I had Becky Hammond for 8 years in San Antonio, and I believe she'll be the first NBA coach. I had Dawn Staley as my first point guard, who is now the Olympic coach, as well as won a national championship with South Carolina. I had Susie McConnell-Serio, which is an incredible coach. I had Jen Rosati. I had Helen Darling. I've just had a slew of point guards that would make any coach happy to have them running your club. And so that's been the blessing of my career.
Okay, well, Dan, how much say when it comes to scouting players, and we talked a little bit before the segment, how much say do you have in scouting players like, hey, I want that superstar woman on my team? How do we go about that in the WNBA?
Well, it varies. You know, I went through a lot of years where I was the GM and the head coach in San Antonio. So, you know, you're basically talking to yourself in that situation.
Right.
Other places I've been, you know, you work in unison with I work with Alicia Valavanis in Seattle. She's really good. But when I came back, I had stepped away from the game. For me to come back to the game, I just wanted to coach. And obviously, I think whenever there's a tandem, a GM and a head coach who are on the same page, then you kind of see it in the chemistry of the team. And so, you know, Alicia and I talk a lot, and I've been in other places where I was really fortunate. When I started my gig in the WNBA, I had Bob Bass, who was the GM for the Charlotte Hornets, and he was technically the general manager. But, you know, I worked with him and was able to I went to Cleveland. I worked with Jim Paxson, who was the Cavaliers GM, and back in the early days of the WNBA, they would take the GM from the NBA side, and they'd put him also over the WNBA side.
Got it.
And I just really was able to really enjoy those situations. You know, they allowed me to do my job, but they also allowed me to learn from the NBA side. And I love that. So it's a teamwork thing. You know, you do the legwork. I'm a big film watcher, and everybody knows that. I watch unbelievable amounts of tape and that type of thing. But you learn to create a chemistry just like you ask on your team. You know, if you're a team made up of chemistry, those players are going to look and see how does that coach work with the GM? How does that coach work with his assistant? How does that coach work with the training staff?
Hey, Dan.
You know, and if they see chemistry, there's a pretty good chance they're going to look at their teammates and bring out the same things for you.
All right. Hey, Dan, hold that thought. We're going to carry you over the next segment. Folks, we're going to open the phone lines as well. 844-305-7800, 844-305-7800. Maybe somebody out there wants to ask Dan Hughes, world champion coach of the Seattle Storm, a question. Folks, we'll be back here in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company. Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
Support weight management with Quantum Nutrition Lab's plant protein, creatine, and green tea extract. Buy two, get the third one free. Call 888-588-7578 or visit us online at qnlabs.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in and hear the latest break family.
Daniel French here from News for You, airing every Monday through Friday. Are you tired of the left, right march of the big news companies? I am too. You know, we don't do much in the way of politics on News for You, but I do provide commentary when I think it's pertinent. Here's the good news. I've had affiliates yell at me because I'm supposedly such a die-hard Republican, and others who say I'm such an obvious liberal Democrat shill. Trust me, it's lonely here in the middle and taking fire from all sides, but I call them like I see them on News for You, right here, News for You.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. This segment is brought to you by Legal Shield, providing legal protection and peace of mind for less than $1 a day. Legal Shield can help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning, contracts given to you that you don't understand, or maybe you're on the basketball court and you got your ankles broken and you need a lawyer. Call Legal Shield right now for less than $1 a day. They can help. 213-245-1305. That's 213-245-1305. Again, 213-245-1305. Or visit Legal Shield at nocourt.us. That's nocourt.us. And tell them the circus sent you. Also, a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and our CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates from coast to coast, including our friends over in Honolulu on KHKA, CBS Sports 1500 in sunny Southern California, NBC News, CNBC Financial, and NBC Sports, KCAA, 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM, and 1050 AM right here in Las Vegas, KSHB 1400, home of your Arizona Diamondbacks. In Chicago, WCGO 1590, our Westwood One News affiliate. In Southern Alabama and the Florida Panhandle, WIRB Top 1490. And, of course, on the New York Yankees Radio Network, 1340 and 105.3 FM, our Fox Sports affiliate. WLVL cover the greater Buffalo and Toronto markets and a bunch others that I just don't have time to get to. All right, folks, we're continuing on with our WNBA champion coach from the Seattle Storm, Dan Hughes. And, Dan, we also brought in a caller or two, and this was kind of a neat story. So we had the Nevada State High School Championships right here in Las Vegas. It was on Saturday, and I just stumbled in after a chance meeting that I'd actually be in the building, and sure enough, I sat and I watched a couple of good games, and one of them was the girls' Nevada State 2A state championship, and it was White Pine High School from Ely, Nevada, against another club, Incline, out of Incline Village in the Reno, Tahoe area as well. And so I sat at center court watching this really fun game. It got off to a slow start, really slow start, and then they picked it up, and the defense was smothering. The point guard play was fantastic. Block shots, all kinds of mayhem. And so I said after the game was over and White Pine just blew away Incline, I had to meet Justin Locke, who was the coach of White Pine High School, and I wanted him to bring one of his star players, which is Eva Kingston. And so, Dan, that's who's joining us right now. And everybody say hello.
Well, congratulations, guys. That's wonderful.
Justin, you there?
We appreciate it, Dan. This is Justin Locke, coach of the White Pine High School Lady Cat. It was our program has had some success over the last 5 years. We've won state 4 out of the last 5, which I've been the head coach for the last 2. Eva Kingston, my point guard there. I heard Dan talking about having Sue Bird as a leader and point guard play. That's what Eva Kingston brings. She's been on my team as she's only a sophomore this year, but she led us to our state championship last year as a freshman point guard as well.
Well, that's just amazing. You know, I started as a high school coach, and Coach, I genuinely tell people that I think the best teachers of our game are at the high school level. So I congratulate you and Eva, and it's just a pleasure to talk.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, and I mean, my coaching philosophy is about teaching life lessons to these young women and making them great citizens of this country we live in. I just want, one of the first questions I have for you is, what is your coaching philosophy through your years?
Well, I think it's kind of developed because I started as a high school coach, and I spent half of my career coaching men. I started with men. I'd coached Division III. I went to Division I. I ended up moving to the women's side and then got into the WNBA when it started. But for me, it's about developing a culture of that it exemplifies chemistry. It exemplifies character. I think we all kind of get to points in our life, especially as coaches, where we got to make some tough decisions. And what I have found is that if I have people around me of character, if I have people around me of persistence, we kind of make those things work. And so my teams have been very high chemistry teams, very much a family atmosphere, very much the ball moves from side to side, inside and out. We try to play both ends. We coach the players, whether you're Sue Bird or Brianna Stewart or Jewel Lloyd, or whether you're my 12th player. We coach everybody with the same kind of vigor. And we all have roles, and we understand those roles contribute to who we are. And that's probably embodied, my career. And I've been fortunate to have been around some incredible players, and that kind of keeps us in coaching coaches. So That's kind of my background.
Well, I'd like to bring Eva on and let her talk and ask a question to you as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm in Kingston, and me being a sophomore, I was just wondering your opinion on what separates good athletes from elite athletes.
Elite athletes kind of take care of business, Eva, on the court and off the court. Let me talk to you about that a little bit. You know, I've been a college recruiter. I make decisions on players that I like coming out of college. You know, players that take care of business. You know, in your situation, you're a sophomore. What you do in the classroom is going to determine the options that you may have. Your basketball talent, that's very important. I understand that. But if you're taking care of business in the classroom, if you're gaining respect of people that you meet in your school, if you're walking through life in a way that you give people energy, those things matter. They matter if you want to be elite. And you realize you're doing that every day of your life. Breanna Stewart's in Russia playing right now, but I guarantee you today she did something to make herself a better basketball player. Sue Bird, I'm not sure where Sue is. I was with her in Seattle last week, but I guarantee you somewhere today she's doing something to make herself a better basketball player. But along the way, they're both incredible teammates. They're making sure that they kind of carry themselves in a way that gives energy to people that they are with. Those are the things that I think separates elite from average. And it's got to do with off the court as well as on the court.
Yes, I think that's incredible input. Look, and I speak as a college recruiter, which I've been doing for 19 years. I'm an academic recruiter. I'm not an athletic recruiter. So as an academic recruiter, I look at these students as not only can you do something incredible in the classroom. We already know that. If I've gotten to you, that means that, look, you've already passed the first hurdle as a good student, but now I want to know what you do outside the classroom that makes you a good human to the balance of your peers and to the community. And I think a lot of that, Dan, goes hand in hand with your leadership on the court and with your team.
It sure does. It's about culture. Culture, you don't turn it on and off. If you do, then you're probably not real. But I'll tell you right now, I was recruiting men. I walked into an inner city school in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I come in, and there happened to be a security guard right there. And I said, I'm looking for Robert Kaiser. And this guy grabbed me and said, listen, let me tell you about Robert Kaiser. And he went through 5 or 6 things that this young man did that speak to what you're talking about how he was unselfish, about how he took care of business and how he treated his teammates. And so I meet Robert, and I do all that, and I go back to the I'm driving back to the university I was at. The head coach calls me, and he said, listen, we got one scholarship. What do you think we should do? And I'm like, give it to Robert. And we gave it to him. He came to school. He ended up being the defensive player of the MAC, all those kinds of things. But if you don't think that security guard taking the time to tell me what kind of human being Robert was, you're wrong. That had a huge impression on me because I didn't ask for it, but yet he's telling me what kind of person this is, and this is somebody you want to get in a foxhole with. You know, when you got to go win, you want to be with people like that.
Right, and the reason I bring that up for Eva, look, Eva, pretty soon you're going to be applying to colleges, or you probably already looked at some. You already have an idea of which direction you're going to go. But remember, what you do off the court and what you do for other people is equally measured as to what you do in the classroom on a day-to-day basis or on the court with your peers. Now, Eva, I want to hold you and Coach Locke over along with Dan for the next segment. Coach Hughes, everybody can stick around with me. Just say yes or no.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we're going to be back here in just a few minutes on the Sports Circus. Lots more to cover. And here with world champion coach Dan Hughes from the Seattle Storm, and also a couple of special guests from Ely, Nevada. That would be Eva Kingston, star point guard for White Pines, and her coach, Justin Locke. Back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come.
Hugs at the arrival gate.
Hey, I missed you so much.
Seeing your best bud for the first time in a long time. Family and friends around the table. At Lincoln, we know the holidays are filled with moments like these, when we realize that the greatest wish of all is one that brings us together. In that spirit, we invite you into our home during the Lincoln Wishlist event, where not coincidentally, we're making wishes come true with exceptional offers on the Lincoln family of luxury vehicles. The Lincoln Continental, EMKZ, the MKC, the new Nautilus, and the iconic Navigator. The Lincoln Wishlist event, because wishes really do come true at your Lincoln dealer.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America, with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935. Or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD. If you've ever had questions about your health, listen to Healthline Live now online at qnlabs.com every Monday through Saturday. I'll take your nutrition questions live during show hours and guide you the best I can on your path to great health. The key to great health is nutrition, and unfortunately, our food sources are not even close to what they used to be. Go to qnlabs.com and join me to learn about quantum nutrition. Ask your questions and get real answers. I'll give you the truth so you're empowered to make choices. Remember, each day's show streams 24 hours until the next show, so you can listen at your convenience, from anywhere, anytime. If you miss a show, you can still find it archived on the website. So take advantage of this great opportunity to educate yourself and your family. That's Healthline Live every Monday through Saturday on qnlabs.com.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. Make sure you check us out at thesportscircus.com for our upcoming guest and our podcast, and also check out our team, who's involved with the team. In fact, one of our team members is Alicia Thompson, WNBA champion from the Seattle Storm. And make sure you also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. On Facebook, we are under Sal Circus. Of course, you could search The Sports Circus. And also on Twitter, you could follow us at The Sports Circus as well. All right, and folks, a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and our CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates from coast to coast. Here with special guest Dan Hughes, champion coach from the WNBA Seattle Storm. Welcome back, Dan. And also we have another couple of special guests that just joined us, and we have the head basketball coach for the White Pines High School, Nevada State 2A champions. That's in Ely, Nevada, as well as Eva Kingston, star point guard of the Lady Cats. Thanks for everyone joining me again.
Our pleasure.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get real quick into it. We have a short segment here. Now, Eva, do you have another question for Coach Hughes?
I'm wondering, because we use this a lot, is screen and roll offense still very powerful at the pro level?
Very, very, very powerful. And I think it's becoming more and more a part of, as a shot clock, we have a 24-second shot clock. You watch the NBA game, absolutely. I absolutely love people that can execute the pick and roll, make the right play, and I don't see it going anywhere but up. I think it's one of those plays that, especially on the women's side, the game just gets more and more athletic. So you're coming off those screens at different speeds, and the ability to make plays with your post players and shoot the three now. It's a big part of it, and that's something that you really want to concentrate on developing, because I think it's going to become even a greater part of college in the future.
All right, Justin, go ahead and get one more question in for Coach Hughes.
Yeah, I'm 33, and I grew up in this community we live in, and I always thought I'd come back and coach the boys, but the opportunity wasn't there, and I've been with the girls program for about the last 7 years, and as the head coach for 2 now. But I wonder just what advice you have for a young coach. You've coached girls at, it seemed like, every level, how to deal with the emotions from them sometimes, because I'm more of a, I want to fix everything as a man wants to do, and sometimes sit back. I just wonder what kind of advice you may have for a coach in my position.
Well, I coached boys basically in the high school level, and I spent most of my college years with men. And my experience with coaching women have been 1 year at the college level and almost 19 years at the pro level. But to me, it's about coaching players. People, I often get asked the difference between men and women and that type of thing, and there's much more similarities than there are differences. To me, it's about coaching players, and it's about your ability to put them in situations, where they can be successful, not only on the court, but in life. And communication's important. I think one of the things I've appreciated about coaching in the WNBA and coaching women is that communication is very important to them. They look at their verbal at a higher degree. Teams are teams, and some learn by. I always try to figure out how they learn, but to me, doing a good job of communicating at whatever level you are about what your expectations are, about how you want them to be quality people, and walking a walk that demonstrates that. Because you can talk to your blue, but if they see you kind of walking a walk of maturity and walking a walk of communication, they're probably going to think, well, that I can be like that. And that's all I would encourage you to do, is to young people go through ups and downs and those type of things, but I think a stable force, somebody delivering the same message time and time again, somebody who cares about them in ways that is more than their talents on the court. It's that they put together a package of a student athlete. Those are all the things that I think go a long way to creating a relationship, a player-coach relationship. And that's what it's about to me. It's never about coaching women. It's never about coaching men. It's about coaching players and coaching people to their best and trying to get them in their sweet spot, not only on the court, but in life. Caring about.
Yeah.
I have an awful lot of players that are coaching now, and caring about them getting into their careers and caring about them. It goes a long way in developing some really good player-coach relationships.
All right. All right, so listen, Dan, we have just a couple of minutes left, and I want to hear in 1 minute the most unusual thing that's happened to you during a live game that you could have never predicted would have happened, and how'd you handle it?
I had one last year. I'll give it to you. There was a play. We were playing in Dallas. It was the second quarter. There was a play where one of the players, her name was Kayla Thornton, plays for Dallas, went for a loose ball over by our bench. So she goes, it's the loose ball. She saved it, but we got it, and we're going down the floor. So my head is turned to the other end, watching us in our fast break. Well, Kayla gets up, and she's literally on our bench, and she's off the court. She starts to run up the floor, and she doesn't see me, and absolutely runs me over. I mean, just flattens me. You know? Now I'm looking at the other end, so I don't even see her. You know, it's one of those deals where you don't brace. And Kayla is a strong person, and she just nailed me. You know, I mean, knocked me right to the ground. And she's such a quality person. She even paused for a second, Coach, you all right? But knocked the wind out of me. Okay, I mean, so here I am on the sideline, on the ground. You know, the players come running over, the officials come running over. You know, I'm trying to get my breath back. I think I'm okay, but
and you're not even on the court.
I've taken a pretty good hit, and I wasn't even on the court.
Right.
But anyway, they checked me out. I came back. I coached the rest of the game. We won the game. They sent me to the hospital, and I cracked a rib when I took the hit, but I was fine. I was basically fine, you know. But that's the most unusual thing, I think, and I've been coaching almost 40 years. So.
Wow. That's a great story. I'll even give you an applause for shaking off the cracked rib and staying in the game for coaching. Wow.
Yeah. But it was, and what I remember is how concerned she was for me. I mean, God bless her. You know, she was concerned. You know, what did I do to coach here? You know, but I was fine. I was fine.
That's great. Hey, Coach, let me ask you real quick. Dan, how do people follow you and the Seattle Storm? Because the season's not too far away here. How can everybody follow the club and follow you?
Go to seattlestorm.com, seattlestorm.com, and go on the website. They do a great job. They, sign up for information. Social media is very powerful. They do a great job. They kind of follow me around, different things. I do some broadcasting. I'm going to be in Vegas for a week doing. I'm going to broadcast the West Coast Conference. I'm going to broadcast the WAC Conference for ESPN. I'm going to watch my son play. It's Thomas Mack. He plays for University of United States Air Force Academy in the Mountain West. So
excellent.
We kind of keep it up on the website. I'd go there, and you can also find out about Breonna Stewart and Jewel Lloyd, Sue Bird, and Alicia Clark, and Natasha Howard, and all the Seattle Storm players.
All right. A big welcome, or a big thank you, I should say, for joining us. Dan Hughes, world champion coach, Seattle Storm, and also a big thank you to Eva Kingston, star point guard at White Pines High School, along with Coach Justin Locke. Thanks for joining us today here on the Sports Circus. I got to tell you, really good segments, and it's great for the people to hear something a little bit different. I appreciate everybody joining us today, and thanks for taking all your time. And we're out of time here on the Circus. So for everybody that I just mentioned, I'm your Ringmaster Sal, and we'll see you next time right here on your favorite station. Until then, so long, everyone. Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America, with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935. Or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.